For a classic Caribbean cocktail, look no further than a corn and oil. Let me show you how to make it. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, I'm the Whiskey Nerd, and like I said, this week I'm making a classic Caribbean cocktail, a corn and oil. Now, this cocktail doesn't have any corn in it or any oil in it, but it is very tasty. It's a rum-based cocktail, and normally it will have blackstrap rum made with blackstrap molasses. Now, you can get a lot of really dark blackstrap rums. Now, not all of them are proper black rums though, so some distilleries might use kind of very young spirit that's been unaged and just add some really dark inky black food coloring to it to kind of simulate that. So I'm not using that, I'm using this very nice rum from Killowen. It's an Irish distillery, not a Barbados distillery, but it does use blackstrap molasses in making the rum and is a very, very tasty little rum. If you want to see a review of this rum, I'll put a link up there, I'll put a link down below and you can check that out after because it's a very tasty little rum. But this cocktail is more than just rum in a glass. It calls for a couple of other ingredients, including the ingredient that got me into making cocktails at home, Velvet Falernum. Now, it's pretty easy to make something like a daiquiri, a whiskey sour, or an old fashioned at home using ingredients you get at the store, but the Velvet Falernum is what got me into making cocktails because I tried a corn and oil out at a cocktail restaurant. I said I have to be able to make that at home, and I went on a little hunt to try and find some Velvet Falernum. It's kind of like a sugar syrup that's got some nice spices and some aromatics in it. It's not overly sweet, it's not overly spicy, it just delivers a lot of really nice flavors into a kind of a tropical, summery kind of cocktail, and it's kind of what started me off down this journey. So for the only rum I'm probably ever going to review on the channel, I figured might as well make a corn and oil because that's what got me into this whole kind of cocktail making adventure. It also calls for a little bit of lime juice and some angostura bitters to really round out the profile and bring it all together. So that's enough talking about the cocktail, it's time to make it. Now, this is actually a very simple cocktail to make because it's one of those cocktails you build in the glass. So this is just a simple enough rocks glass filled with crushed ice, and now we're just going to measure in our ingredients. This, like I said, it's that rum from Killowen. Very nice, quite sweet, but still has a lot of that kind of earthy funk you'd expect from a rum because it was only distilled 2.5 times, so that gives it a lot of that earthy flavor. So we're going to go in with 60ml, or about 2 ounces of our very nice rum from Killowen, and then we're going to go in with our other ingredients. Now, the Killowen rum does come in at 55% ABV, so it is quite strong, it does have a lot of kind of weight in the glass, so normally you might only go in with half an ounce or 15ml of the Velvet Falernum. So I'm going to go in with it 20ml just to bring up a little bit of sweetness and kind of combat that higher ABV in the Killowen rum. So I'm going to go in with 20ml of my Velvet Falernum, just like that, into the cocktail. And then we're going to go in with our lime juice. We're going to save that little lime wedge as a little garnish at the end, but we'll go in with freshly squeezed lime juice, just 15ml, half an ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice into our cocktail, and then we're going to go in with 3 dashes of angostura bitters to really bring it all together. Just 3 dashes like that. Now, some recipes do say you should add a little bit of really black rum over the top so it looks kind of like an oil slick. Now, I did a little bit of looking up online, and most recipes say the original didn't call for that, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it as is, but I'm going to top this glass up with a little bit more kind of crushed ice just to make sure it's a nice, refreshing and cold drink. Just like that, nice and simple. And for the last little touch, take our little bit of a lime wedge, squeeze it a little bit, drop it in, and that right there is a corn and oil. Now, real quick, before I taste this cocktail, if you're new here, scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. I put out whiskey reviews on Wednesdays and cocktail recipes on Fridays, so if you want to see more, make sure you hit subscribe. Now, unfortunately for serving, I'm going to have to get rid of this lovely little oil slick on top because I do want to stir it and make sure that kind of syrupy Velvet Falernum is nicely mixed up to the rest of the cocktail. Just like that. Now it's ready to serve, so let's give it a taste. Cheers. Okay, one reason I really like this kind of cocktail is the profile of the rum does come through. Like, it's not an overly complicated cocktail. You've only got 4 ingredients, but they do kind of tie together really well. You get a nice bit of sweetness from the Falernum, but you also get that kind of earthy, funky note from the rum still coming through. Like I said, it comes in at 55% ABV, so there's a lot of kind of weight there, a lot of kind of flavor gets delivered into the cocktail by the rum. And having all that kind of crushed ice in there, it gives you a really nice kind of just a chill out vibe, as well as a little bit of lime on top, give you a bit more aromatics. The angostura bitters just ties it all together and makes it a very nice, refreshing cocktail. So that's all there is to say about this. I'm going to keep on enjoying it, and I will see you next time. Sláinte.